What if the real prison in Silo was never underground, but inside the story people were forced to believe? You're watching Screenscope Reviews, and today's Silo Season 3 update isn't about escape routes or rebellion plans. It's about narrative control. Because Season 2 didn't just end with a cliffhanger, it ended with a contradiction the system was never designed to survive. Juliet Nichols walked outside, and the world didn't end. No violent collapse. No instant death. Just quiet proof that everything the silo taught its people was wrong. And that single moment does more damage than any uprising ever could. Because once certainty cracks, authority panics. That's where Season 3 begins, not with chaos, but with containment. Bernard Holland doesn't react like a man confronting new truth. He reacts like a curator protecting a myth. The keyword quietly rising to the surface now is, the safeguard. On paper, it sounds humane. Protective. Necessary. But Season 3 is expected to expose the safeguard for what it truly is, not a system designed to save lives, but one designed to limit what people are allowed to know. For generations, cleaning was framed as consequence and closure. A ritual meant to reinforce obedience. But all signs now point toward a darker reality. The suits weren't flawed. The airlocks weren't miscalculated. The process worked exactly as intended. Cleaning wasn't a mistake, it was a controlled execution disguised as civic duty. And here's the most disturbing part, the silo never actually saw reality. The screens didn't show truth. They showed reassurance. Carefully engineered images meant to overwrite doubt. Because if even one cleaner lived long enough to challenge the narrative, the entire social structure would collapse overnight. Season 3 reportedly splits the story into two pressure points. On the outside, Juliet isn't just surviving, she's discovering. Evidence suggests her silo may not be unique. That fear itself was standardized. That dozens of silos may exist, all running the same lie, all enforcing the same quiet murders under different numbers and identical rules. The truth becomes more dangerous than any weapon because it threatens legitimacy itself. Inside the silo, control starts decaying from within. Not through explosions, but through questions. Families revisit old losses. Grief mutates into suspicion. People begin to realize their loved ones didn't die for safety, they died to protect a story. And here's today's update. New production whispers suggest Season 3 will lean heavily into psychological fallout rather than spectacle. Expect fewer large rebellions and more internal fractures. Trust dissolving. Authority unraveling. Ordinary citizens confronting the horror that their entire history may have been engineered. Silo Season 3 isn't about survival anymore. It's about aftermath. What happens when truth escapes containment? When order depends on silence? When revealing reality could destroy the only world people know? The show has always asked who holds power, and who pays for it. Now it asks something even more dangerous. If the truth would cause chaos, do you still set it free? You're watching Screenscope Reviews, and no system built on lies can stay sealed forever.